Hey there, curious minds. It's your pal, Quick Tips, here to unravel the mysteries of the world, one surprising fact at a time. And today, we're setting our sights on a global giant, a beacon of international cooperation. An organization so monumental that it has its own zip code. You guessed it, the United Nations. Think you know everything about the UN? Well, think again. Beneath the surface of resolutions and speeches lies a fascinating world of hidden perks, quirky customs, and historical tidbits that'll leave you saying, wait, really? From secret meditation rooms to their very own CIA. We're about to embark on a whirlwind tour of the UN's lesser-known side. So, buckle up as we count down the 10 surprising facts about the United Nations you didn't know. 10. All right, history buffs, let's rewind the clock a bit. Picture this. The year is 1946. The world is recovering from a devastating war, and the newly formed United Nations needs a home. Now, you might think they'd naturally gravitate towards the bright lights and bustling energy of New York City, right? Well, not so fast. While it's true that the UN headquarters eventually found its permanent residence in the Big Apple, its very first meetings were actually held in, drumroll, Philadelphia. Yep, you heard that right. For a brief, shining moment, the city of brotherly love was the epicenter of global diplomacy. Can you imagine if things had turned out differently? What if Philly, with its cheesesteaks and Liberty Bell, became the diplomatic capital of the world? It's a tantalizing thought, isn't it? But alas, fate had other plans, and the UN eventually packed its bags and headed north to the island of Manhattan. 9. Let's face it, the life of a diplomat sounds pretty glamorous, right? Jet-setting around the world, rubbing shoulders with influential figures, sipping champagne at fancy receptions. But here's a perk you probably didn't know about. Diplomatic immunity. And no, we're not talking about a free pass to break the law willy-nilly. Diplomatic immunity is a complex and often misunderstood concept. In essence, it's a legal shield that protects diplomats from being prosecuted by the host country's legal system. This ensures that they can carry out their duties without fear of intimidation or harassment. Of course, with great power comes great responsibility, and diplomatic immunity isn't a license to run amok. Delegates are still expected to respect the laws of their host country, and serious offences can lead to diplomatic consequences, like being expelled from the country. 8. Cue the dramatic music. Now, before you start picturing secret agents rappelling from the UN ceiling, let's clarify something. The UN's version of the CIA is a little less James Bond and a little more research-oriented. Meet the Department of Political and Peacebuilding Affairs, DPPA. This division is tasked with, you guessed it, promoting peace and preventing conflicts around the world. They do this through a variety of means, including mediation, early warning systems, and good old-fashioned fact-finding missions. Think of them as the UN's eyes and ears on the ground, gathering information, analysing risks, and working tirelessly behind the scenes to prevent conflicts from escalating into full-blown crises. It might not be as action-packed as a spy thriller, but it's definitely just as important. At 7, calling all stamp collectors and philately enthusiasts. Did you know that the United Nations has its very own postal administration? That's right, folks. We're talking stamps, envelopes, the whole shebang. Now, before you rush to your mailbox expecting a letter from the Secretary General, there's a catch. The UN Postal Administration, UNPA, primarily serves the organization itself and its various agencies. They issue stamps that commemorate UN events, initiatives, and international holidays. But here's the cool part. These stamps aren't just pretty to look at. They're also a valuable source of funding for the UN's humanitarian efforts. So, the next time you see a UN stamp, remember that you're not just looking at a piece of philatelic history, you're also looking at a symbol of global solidarity. Number 6. When you think of peacekeeping, you might picture soldiers in camouflage fatigues, right? Well, in the world of UN peacekeeping, things are a little different. You see, UN peacekeepers are known for their distinctive blue helmets and neutral attire. This deliberate choice of colour and uniform serves a crucial purpose: to project an image of impartiality, peace, and non-aggression. The colour blue, often associated with tranquility and stability, sends a clear message that these are forces of peace, not participants in conflict. It's a subtle but powerful reminder that UN peacekeepers are not there to take sides or engage in combat. Their mission is to protect civilians, facilitate dialogue, and create the conditions necessary for lasting peace. Halfway at number 5, imagine being a world leader facing a high-stakes negotiation, a diplomatic crisis, or a decision that could impact millions of lives. The pressure must be immense, right? Well, thankfully, the UN headquarters has a secret weapon for these tense moments, a dedicated meditation room. Tucked away from the hustle and bustle of international diplomacy, this serene space offers a sanctuary for contemplation and reflection. It's a place where diplomats, delegates, and UN staff can escape the pressures of their work and find a moment of peace. The room itself is designed to foster a sense of tranquility, with soft lighting, comfortable seating, and a distinct lack of any political paraphernalia. It's a testament to the power of mindfulness and the importance of creating space for reflection, even in the midst of global affairs. 4. All right, folks, get ready for a calendar quirk you probably didn't see coming. Did you know that the United Nations doesn't just follow the Gregorian calendar like the rest of us? Nope. They like to spice things up with their very own UN year. Now, before you start questioning everything you thought you knew about time, let's clarify something. The UN year isn't some mind-bending departure from our earthly calendar. It's essentially a thematic year dedicated to raising awareness about a specific global issue. Each year, the UN chooses a theme like International Year of Peace, International Year of Water Cooperation, or my personal favourite, International Year of Pulses, and dedicates the year to promoting that cause. It's a way to focus global attention on pressing issues, encourage international cooperation, and, well, make sure no one forgets about pulses. 3. They set up more than 80,000 peacekeepers worldwide. When it comes to promoting peace and security, the United Nations doesn't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. And by walk the walk, we mean deploying a massive peacekeeping force to some of the world's most volatile regions. We're talking over 80,000 peacekeepers, hailing from over 120 countries, working tirelessly to protect civilians, prevent conflict, and build a more peaceful future. These brave individuals put their lives on the line every day to uphold the UN's core values of peace, security, and human dignity. They're doctors, engineers, teachers, and soldiers, all united by a common purpose: to make a difference in the world. So the next time you see a UN peacekeeper, take a moment to appreciate their courage, their sacrifice, and their unwavering commitment to peace. 2. It all started with just 51 countries. It's hard to imagine a time when the United Nations wasn't the sprawling global organization it is today. But believe it or not, this powerhouse of international cooperation had humble beginnings. Back in 1945, as World War II cast a long shadow over the globe, 51 countries came together with a shared dream to create a better world. They signed the UN Charter, a document that outlined their vision for a future free from the scourge of war. Now, over 75 years later, the UN has grown to encompass 193 member states, representing nearly every corner of the globe. It's a testament to the enduring power of diplomacy, the importance of international cooperation, and the unwavering belief that a better world is possible. And the number 1, they have a wine cellar fit for diplomats. All right, let's end our UN adventure on a slightly more decadent note, shall we? Behind the scenes of international diplomacy, amidst the serious discussions and weighty pronouncements, lies a secret that might surprise you. The UN has a wine cellar, and not just any wine cellar, mind you, but one that's fit for, well, diplomats. Now, we're not talking about a dusty old cellar with a few cobwebs and some questionable vintages. This is a carefully curated collection of wines from around the world, each bottle a testament to the art of winemaking and the pleasures of a well-stocked cellar. It's a reminder that even in the world of international diplomacy, there's always room for a little indulgence, a touch of elegance, and of course a good bottle of wine. Cheers to that. That's a wrap, and there you have it. 10 surprising facts about the United Nations you probably didn't know. From secret meditation rooms to their very own postal system, the UN is clearly more than just resolutions and speeches. It's a world of its own, filled with quirks, history, and yes, even secret wine cellars. Who knew that an organization dedicated to solving the world's problems could be so surprisingly fascinating? It's a reminder that even in the most serious of settings, there's always room for a little intrigue, a dash of history, and, of course, a well-stocked wine cellar. If you found this video as enlightening as I did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and spread the UN love. Until next time, stay curious, my friends.